This document remains absent from official records. Academic institutions never cite it. Even scholars devoted to analyzing the works of the renowned psychoanalyst avoid mentioning it. It emerges only in whispers, private discussions in dimly lit rooms among those brave enough to acknowledge science's limitations. Carl Gustav Jung, pioneer of analytical psychology, architect of archetypes and the collective unconscious, a thinker who insisted the soul transcends metaphor, underwent clinical death. His account of what followed defies conventional understandings of consciousness. During spring 1944, Jung lay hospitalized in critical condition, heart failure. Physicians noted cardiac arrest. Minutes passed, absolute stillness. In that silence, Jung claimed, an extraordinary shift occurred. He didn't merely black out. He exited his physical form. In correspondence with a Swiss associate identified only as H.E., Jung meticulously recounts this journey. The letter resurfaced decades later in a private archive, revealed solely through the generosity of H.E.'s grandson, who shared a copy with a filmmaker. Jung wrote, "I was hovering above the earth. Everything that had existed before dissolved. No pain, no fear, no time. I saw a blue sphere, a planet like in NASA photographs, which did not yet exist at the time. I knew it was Earth, but it seemed distant, alien. I was being drawn further. What came next makes even the most hardened skeptics hold their breath. I entered a space that cannot be described with words. It was like an ancient temple, as if carved out of light. It did not glow. It was made of light. And there I realized that everything I had considered consciousness was only a shadow, just a reflection of the true self." He speaks of encountering an entity, neither angel nor human, yet simultaneously grand and familiar. It did not speak, but thoughts, like streams of warmth, filled Jung with understanding. "I was shown," he wrote, "that life is a school not only for the personality but for the soul, that beyond death is not an end but a gateway. Do you feel it? As if a heavy dusty door is being slightly opened, just a little more, and you'll see what lies behind it." Yet Jung returned. Medical voices pierced the void. Pressure compressed his chest. "I didn't want to return," he admitted, adding hauntingly, "what I saw is not a metaphor. It is a reality we are not ready for. Why the secrecy?" He understood his era would reject this truth. A scientist's credibility couldn't survive accusations of mysticism. One revelation might have erased his life's work. Within the letter, secured today in a Basel vault, Jung reflects, "If I had spoken of this then, I would not have been understood. Perhaps they would have considered me insane, but I did not go mad. I saw a truth that terrifies the mind. Does your spine tingle? This isn't mere text. It's a dispatch from beyond." Jung insisted his experience wasn't unique. Thousands undergo similar trials, he claimed, but fear judgment. He analyzed myths, dreams, shamanic lore, finding recurring hints of that luminous temple. He coined an unpublished term, the space between worlds. Among the letter's most jarring passages, "I saw faces, not familiar to me in this life, but I knew them. They were souls. One was my father, another a child I never had. Thoughts became transparent. I was not remembering my biography. I was remembering myself beyond it." He labels this absolute recognition. No words, no symbols, only knowledge, infallible, pure. Later, something stranger unfolds. Jung witnesses humanity's future. Initially baffled, he later interpreted it as a prophetic glimpse. Note this, he foresaw an age where boundaries between realms weaken. People would perceive more, sense more, liberating yet perilous. As reality's fabric frays, many will falter, a few will awaken. Jung nearly destroyed the letter. Instead, he stipulated, "Let it be read only when the world itself approaches the threshold." 80 years later, we stand at that brink. But what specifics did he withhold? Why tremble describing the vision's conclusion? Ask yourself, how deeply do you wish to see? He avoided literal descriptions, leveraging metaphor, yet pushing further. The future, he wrote, becomes a world of light without shadow, then clarifies, and where there is no shadow, there is no depth. A mirror-bright existence. Everything visible, everything exposed. Freedom becomes dislocation. Death turns transparent. But without forgetfulness, agony, or struggle, souls grow weightless. Implied, suffering shapes us. Dawn means nothing without night. In that liminal state, Jung found serenity, unattainable on earth. Granted one question, he asked, "What is truth?" The reply arrived visually. A tree, roots in darkness, crown of flame. Truth isn't knowledge, it's growth. Pain transformed into grace, darkness turned to light. Can you sense it? This strikes deeper than philosophy. Pleading to remain, Jung heard, "Not yet." Dragged back to his 1944 hospital bed, he never recovered wholly. He avoided publicity, embedding clues in later works instead. This letter acts as a cipher for seekers, not scholars. It closes, "When you come there, you won't be asked who you were. You'll be asked, how much did you become yourself? Now the challenge turns to you. Who exists beneath your masks? What persists when externals crumble?" Jung glimpsed the answer. Are you prepared to? Post-experience, Jung lived bifurcated. I returned, but a part of me remained there, and sometimes, in the middle of the night, I heard a call, quiet, like the echo of wind outside the window, but too alive to be a dream. He sought validation in alchemy, Eleusinian rites, Kabbalah, ancient efforts to articulate what he'd witnessed. Most unsettling, his oblique reference to those who watch at the threshold. Not everything is in the light beyond. There are examiners. They bar passage until you've been tested. Jung avoided darkness or demons, yet described presences that sober the soul. Returning, he realized, was no penalty, but an opportunity. I am not a teacher. I am a messenger from the border. The finale holds a coded plea. If you are reading this, it means you have already heard the call. It is quiet, like breathing in a dream, but unmistakable. And if you do not turn away, you will be guided. Do not be afraid. This isn't about Jung, it's about you. We all face cracks in reality. Grief, uncanny dreams, phantom whispers. Jung calls these invitations. The question isn't belief, it's whether you'll open the door. A faded postscript delivers the final blow. Truth is not knowledge. Truth is a meeting face to face, without masks, without a name, where everything unnecessary burns away, and only what you have always been remains. Are you ready? Jung never addressed this again. He taught, wrote, counseled, but his true legacy lives at the boundary of worlds. Reading this, you might feel it's meant for you. Not historians, not colleagues, you. So, what if it's true? What if death isn't oblivion but a blinding clarity we resist? Jung refused to persuade. Seek for yourself. The path is not in theory, the path is in experience. 80 years later, have we evolved? Or drowned further in distraction? Jung cautioned, when the veil thins, the unprepared will burn. Truth liberates only after it scorches. See your soul once and self-deception dies. A bell tolls within, inexorable. This ends, yet doesn't. True discovery lies inward. Jung merely lit the way. If you've read this far, pulse quickening, breath stilled, you're already walking. Beliefs, age, curiosity, irrelevant. To seek is to be awaited. The point is not to escape death. The point is to go through it and finally see who you truly are. Ask now, am I living as if the soul survives? Perhaps, as you read, unseen eyes observe. If stirred, speak. comment, signal to others, or press like, not a button, but a vow. I'm here, I listen. Lost together, we glimpse farther. Meet me where worlds converge.